this moon, the one tonight, the Scorpio new moon, is a chaos demon. Yes, it is a chaos demon. Absolutely, 100%. It has the potential to jack you up. This is because it is a moon in Scorpio, which is a uncomfortable moon, but it's a moon that's all about our fears. It's about those things that are hidden and kept secret from us. It's about our feelings of lack, especially where resources are involved. It's about so many things that have to do with Scorpio. It's conjunct the sun. So these fears are being lit up in a way. Yes, it's a new moon, it is a dark moon, but it's still conjunct the sun. Mercury is also forming a conjunction. It is moving into a conjunction. It's the same degree, it's just minutes away from forming an exact conjunction to the moon. This is an aha moment. At the point that this happens, expect epiphanies, expect downloads, expect information potentially coming in from potentially unexpected places. Doesn't always have to be your exes. The house placement of this configuration could give you some insight as to who could potentially, if at all, give you some sort of grief in coming back. Maybe closure, doesn't always have to be grief. What additionally makes this moon a chaos critter is the fact that it is opposite Uranus, however you want to say it, potato, potato, in the sign of Taurus, where it also doesn't really like to be in, but we're also dealing with resources, money, values. This is chaos. This is disruption, rebellion, revolution, shaking things up. That's not usually comfortable for a lot of folks. It's just not. People don't like change. I don't like change. I'm a Taurus. I don't like change. No. But the moon is also forming a trine, which is a positive flow of energy, between the Saturn Neptune conjunction in the late degrees of Pisces and the Jupiter in the late degrees of Cancer. So it's actually forming a grand water trine with planets that have a lot to do with hope, faith, spirituality, expansion, and karma. A grand water trine is going to allow a positive flow of energy, and especially emotional energy, heart-led energy, to all of these things that I've mentioned. It's like your fears surrounding your resources or lack of resources, or just your darkest fears, things coming to light. And how that is working desperately to find alignment with your spiritual nature. Perhaps there is a karmic nature to this. This is something that always had to happen. With Jupiter, it's expanding you. It's broadening your horizons. It's granting you new opportunities. And in the sign of Cancer, what this moon feels like to me is like shakeups within the home. shakeups at home, and realizing that home is where the heart is. That wherever you are, there you are. We don't need a structure. And this could be even with like your faith or spiritual practices. Maybe this is a situation where we're going to see like the Deepak Chopra, I forget how to say his name. We start to see leaders, spiritual leaders, church leaders show up in ways that we are not in alignment with, and we start leaving the church in droves, realizing that we can pray to God or the gods at the tree in our backyard. You know, maybe we realize that we don't need homes as big as we've been conditioned to have them. And so we downsize. Maybe we stop allowing our values to be dictated by what we can buy for others or what we can buy for ourselves to appear to be something or have more than we are or that we don't have. The one thing I don't love about this moon, and that's all, I mean, that's all uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. But it is with purpose, okay? So whatever discomfort you feel with this moon, it is for a reason, absolutely. Like a very broadening, expansive, beautiful, spiritually aligning reason. The dispositor of the moon, okay, this is a Scorpio moon. Mars rules Scorpio. And this Mars is an unaspected Mars. It's in Sagittarius, and it's not making any contact or communicating with any other planets. This makes it a very volatile moon. It makes it a very unpredictable moon. It makes it a moon where things can pop off pretty quickly. This is repressed rage, potentially finally boiling over. Retribution finally being served. This is a chaotic moon. This isn't a warm and fuzzy moon by any means at all. That being said, not all moons apply to all persons. Yes, you'll likely see this moon play out in a very, very pivotal way, especially because that Mars is conjunct the United States ascendant. So absolutely, we're going to see some shocks coming from this moon. It's also a moon that's in our 12th house from a national perspective. That's a lot of things that have been hidden coming to light, or things continuing to stay in the dark, but to our own self-undoing, because the 12th house is a lot about our self-undoing. It's where we find that we can become our own worst enemy. But all that being said, if this moon doesn't contact your chart, it doesn't hit your chart, you may not feel the chaos. You may get to sit the chaos out. So if you don't have placements in the late degrees of fixed signs, you're not going to feel this moon quite as much. If you have placements in the late degrees of water signs, you'll feel it, but not as bad because we're dealing with the trines, although that opposition energy will be a thing, but it'll be offset with those trines. But if you don't really have a lot of late degree, so like, I don't know, 18 to 30 degrees, planets in those placements, or middle degrees of the mutable signs, this moon's not really going to impact you as much. So that's what I have for you. I hope it helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.